Our children can interact with total strangers in chat rooms, on video games, and really you have no idea who they're talking to.
Kids are so immature and naive.
And the key is to bring your children into the process and say, let's look at the profiles of the people who are in your friend group. And we're going to talk today about what does it mean to be a parent?
Hey everyone, my name is Tony, this is Dave, and we are Ask Social Profiler. Today we're gonna talk about what does it mean to be a dad.
And to me, it really starts with what was it like to be a kid? You know, I'm in my 60s now, and being a kid was much different back then than it is today. You know, we came home when the street lights turned on. My friends were the people who lived on the street, who lived in my neighborhood, that were on the same sports teams. I didn't have the opportunity to interact with people that I didn't know that may live hundreds, maybe thousands of miles away. And our kids nowadays have the ability to do that, and we have no idea it's happening. What was it like to be a kid for you, Tony?
Oh, well, a lot of stuff. So I was born in Soviet Union and then in a early Russia with no money, zero amenities. Playing with whatever we could find on the streets. Climbing abandoned buildings. It's all like at the age of 5, 6. A couple of set rules. You have to be back home before it's dark. It's non-negotiable. And then you better stop by to have lunch. But it's not like mandatory, but it's advised.
Things are completely different now.
So why is it kids are so immature and naive? It's partially because of the laws which changed dramatically, because now you cannot let your 8-year-old child just walk on the street alone. You'll get in some sort of trouble. Which is ridiculous.
Poor parent.
Yeah. So that is now considered not a norm. Now, Russian culture is in a sense more Asian probably than European. Success comes first. You know, the Dragon Mom, all they do is just drive kids around to extracurricular activities, 5 classes on top of a regular school each day, best case scenario, and all they do is learn. Train. And not like I agree with that, no, don't get me wrong. It's just another approach. So it's like Western approach versus Eastern approach. There is such approach, then you success must come first, or education at least, because education was historically somewhat related to success.
Growing up in Southern California, and having my children growing up in Southern California, ours is a freer lifestyle. We have more ability to do whatever we want, whether your children are living in a structured environment or an unstructured environment where they have a lot of freedom. The propensity or the opportunity for them to interact with people we don't want them around is greater than it's ever been in the history of the world. Now they can reach out to people across the state, across the country, across the world, and we really don't know. My role as a parent was really to protect my children, to make sure they're happy, they're healthy, and they're safe. And it's very difficult to do that nowadays because our children can interact with total strangers in chat rooms, on video games, and really you have no idea who they're talking to, what they're doing online and in their social media accounts. And how do I show my children where dangers are when they're more adept at the internet and the computers than I am?
You cannot lead by example in this situation.
You know what? You're absolutely right. When it comes to internet and social media, I can't lead my children by example, but I can take them to things and take them to sites and say, here's what you need to look out for, and this is why. Because the children need to understand why you're doing things, why you're showing them things for their safety and their health.
Exactly, yeah, so it's hey, you might be exposed to this and this and that.
What do you think about it? How do you feel about it?
Yeah.
What are you being told? And the key is to bring your children into the process and say, let's look at the profiles of the people who are in your friend group if there's something that concerns you. And again, use it as a learning experience. This is not meant to punish them. This is meant to really show them this is a way we can manage safety.
Yeah, it's a transparency thing. If your like daughter brings like a boyfriend covered in tattoos and stuff, and you like your wife feels like and you run say a report, and you actually know he's like in animal rescue, charities and math, and very great guy actually. It's just like the way of express himself, and you're confident.
It's really tough to judge a person by the way they look.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to judge a person by their outward activities when you're around. It's much easier to get an understanding about the true nature of a person based on what they do when they think nobody's around.
Exactly.
You know, and what they do more naturally when they don't think they're being monitored, or when they're not interacting with other people. Teachers and school administrators have a huge impact on the lives of our children because so much of their time is spent on education. And I absolutely would want to know what the personal preferences are and what they believe in and what they follow, because the reality is, if you have that bias, you can't help but express it to other people. To what extent is the question? Do they do it a lot? Do they do it a little? But it's basically, if I have a far right or a far left ideology, it's impossible not to convey it in my conversations with others.
School is a place to learn, to have fun, to make friends, to, not to get politically engaged at an inappropriate age, I would say.
I'm still close personal friends with the coaches that I had in football and in wrestling in high school. They really shaped who I am as a man in a significant sense, because they taught me about dedication and commitment and teamwork and so forth. So those are things that I've carried with the rest of my life. That type of experience is unique.
I personally do run Socialprofiler reports on school stuff. It's important just to understand where we stand. And, it's all right if we disagree on some points, but if it's like excessive amount of some very radical agenda,
ideology.
Yes.
If you've got a question about what your children are being exposed to, theoretically, ideologically, or in the culture of the school that they're attending and throughout their education, Socialprofiler is a pretty good tool to learn a little bit more, isn't it?
At least you can start there. We only charge you per report. So
only if you generate a report and take a report are you charged.
Yeah, so if you did not find somebody for whatever reason, it might be a legitimate reason, they don't charge you. So why won't you try?
My parents didn't have to worry about what I did when I left the house, because I had a football in my hand or I had a baseball in my hand. Nowadays, children have computers and they have phones and they have access to things that we never thought about when we were kids. Whether it's Socialprofiler or anything else, I would just encourage them to use the tools that are available so they can verify and have security and confidence that their children are safe.
Thank you for watching us. We encourage you to leave comments below. Let us know if you like that, if you have anything else you would like us to discuss. This is Dave.
Thank you.
I am Tony, and thank you for watching us.